The Karate International Council of Kickboxing presents world-class warriors in the ultimate test, the Battle of Champions. The toughest fighters from around the world lay it all on the line in an exciting duel of fighting skills. Super heavyweight world title fight is on hand tonight as the Karate International Council of Kickboxing presents action from St. Paul, Minnesota. Hello, I'm Steve Grad. Welcome to our telecast. We're delighted you're with us. Our expert analyst is the Commissioner of Kick, Frank Babcock. And tonight, here at the Radisson St. Paul Grand Ballroom, we have an outstanding super heavyweight title fight. The world champion, Anthony Elmore, going up against the United States champion, Ken Wilhelm. Both of these men are veterans. Both of these men have a lot of experience. Anthony, they call him the electrifying amp. He's been around for a while. He's got 35 wins under his belt. Just came back from Australia with a great fight. And you're going to see a lot of action because Ken Wilhelm has been challenging him for the past 2 years for this attempt against the world crown. It's going to be great. And Wilhelm's adrenaline's really going to be flowing because though he now lives in the Philadelphia area, up until 3 years ago, he grew up here in St. Paul. So the crowd is going to be well behind him as he tries to take away the world title fight. So we have two super heavyweights. Lots of experience, lots of excitement. Stay with us here as Kick presents a super heavyweight world championship fight from St. Paul. Years old, 6'4", 214 pounds. Here is a man with a one-loss record that is incredible. Field Mullen mid-short late. Well, look at this. He started down three now. Look at the kid come out. Obviously, that cut has got him worried because he is really fired up. Look at these two guys windmilling punches at each other. Forget about the side kicks and the rest of the kick. These guys are just going to stand up and just like a couple of big lumberjacks just flail away at each other. Elmore fighting this like round clear. Good uppercut.
touching the body of the champ. That cut is in such a nasty place on Elmore's eye. This referee or ring doctor might stop the fight at any time.
You're right, John. You were at the first fight where it was stopped, and neither one of these guys wants that kind of finish predicament.
Elmore certainly doesn't want to lose his title by a cut. And he's going out now to try to take out Melvin Cole.
Overhand right by Cole, missing. The champ comes back to the right, but also just barely connects. Cole seems to be kind of just wandering aimlessly around a little bit now. I wonder if he's trying to get tired a little bit from the flurry of punches. Amp with a good kick there, little side kick, kind of holds Cole off. Ooh, good side kick with the right foot by the champ. Good overhead right, trying to get inside now, trying to get to the head.
Elmore is having his way with Melvin Cole. He's hitting him with a variety of punch and kicks. And they are with tremendous velocity. And he's hurt Melvin Cole in this round.
Cole is trying to just stand up there and trade punches. And he seems to be tiring a little bit, and the champ really has him finished now with that cut over his eye. Cole tries to slip around, work his way away from the champ, but instead he gets into the corner. Good front snap kick
by Elmore. He has put tremendous punishment to Cole in this round. Cole is in tremendous condition to withstand this flurry by the world champion.
You can tell that Cole is really starting to get worried about the attention that he's attracting from the champ. That time he tried to break out of the corner by putting both gloves together and just snapping away. There's a little side kick from the champ, and that's the end of round 3, and one more right hook at the end of it. The end of 3 rounds. There you have the decision of the judges, and as you heard, it was unanimous. Has to be disappointing for Melvin Hitman Cole. Title fight compared to your previous many title fights?
Well, when you're the most suitable, most favorable, you're more charged of ever wrestling, course skating, and I'm ready to come here and do business.
When you're not kickboxing professionally, and you do quite a bit of it, what do you do?
Well, you know, I own a retail carpet store in Memphis. I own a karate school in Memphis. Recently, I have a film on the market called Iron Thunder that I wrote, produced, directed, and starred in, and I'm right now working on another movie script. And I hope to produce that real soon.
How do you have all this energy? I mean, to do so many diversified things.
Well, you got to be just determined to, you know, do what you want to do. So I just have to really work hard and be determined.
What's the Anthony Elmore style that the fans can look for whenever you get into the ring?
Well, when I get into the ring, you're going to find that I'm going to be the most methodical, the most purposeful guy that's in the ring. I come into the ring with a plan, and when you see Anthony Elmore, what you're going to see is a guy that can kick like Bruce Lee but hit like Ali. You know, what a marvelous and magnificent combination.
Seems that you do spend a lot of time picking up education along the way, vocabulary, whatever, in your training. Well, tell me about your training when you get ready. Is it a specific something that you do, or is it a daily thing, every day?
Well, you know, basically what I do is I just live a normal, everyday life, and of course I run. Karate is a means as opposed to an end for me. I like to train. It's like a chess game. He throw this, you throw that. So I am a thinker. I'm a guy that gets in the ring. I have a plan. I don't just get in there doing things haphazardly. I have a plan, and I come into the fight to execute my plan. In order to be able to carry out my plans, you must be conditioned, and of course I'm a conditioned fighter. As you know, I'm the most experienced. I'm bigger. I'm faster. I'm sharper, and furthermore, I'm more good-looking than this guy. So there's no way that a guy like that can beat a person like Anthony Elmore.
You're also older.
Well, no. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. We're not talking about age. What we're talking about skill. That's right. I'm older. I have more experience, and hey, it's not going to be a problem. In fact, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to this fight. I promise to present a pageantry, a presentation of my profound, pugnacious, pugilistic powers. And when I get into the ring, you're going to see that.
And I'm going to get an interpreter and know exactly what you said.
Well, let me tell you in the vernacular to get, I'm going to knock the sucker out and whoop his butt real pretty and look pretty doing. That's all it is. That's simply translate what that means.
We'll be right back with exciting kickboxing action from St. Paul, Minnesota. Stay with us. Boxing is that all the limbs are used as weapons, but there are specific rules for the safety of the fighters and for the enjoyment of the fans. Frank, let's note some of the key rules in kickboxing.
Well, I think the most important thing that we need to be aware of is that they're using the hands with boxing techniques and using the feet with kicking techniques, traditionally known from karate or taekwondo, from those various sports. What we're looking for is we have 2-minute rounds. It's made like wind sprints. You go out, you fight really hard for 2 minutes, you got a 1-minute break, then you come right back out for the next 2-minute round. You build up in stamina as you build up towards a world title event. World title event is 12 rounds. Most importantly, what we look for is the safety of the fighters in the ring. We do have what is called a standing 8 count. If a fighter looks like he may be in serious damage or possibly out on his feet, the referee may give him a standing 8 count. Test him, talk to him, make sure that he's ready to go on with the fight. Also, we have what is incorporated into each and every round, the 3 knockdown rule. If a fighter gets knocked down 3 times, the fight will be over. The fighter that is down has lost at that point. Each and every match is scored throughout each and every round on the 10-point must system. And all the viewers at home can score 10 for the winning fighter and a 9 for the losing fighter. If there's 1 knockdown, it's going to be a 10-8. If there's 2 knockdowns, it's going to be a 10-7. Basically, that's how it's done.
And as far as the minimum number of kicks, that's very important.
Well, absolutely, because what we're looking for is kicking techniques. And a superior kicker is going to win the round if the kicks are effective and they're hitting on the target, hitting on the head, hitting in the midsection, hitting in the ribs. What we're looking for is power with each and every technique, but he must score a minimum of 8 kicks above the waist in each and every round. If he does not, he could have 1 point taken away from him by each judge's score. So it's very important that they get out and they kick like gangbusters.
And one thing all fighter fans should remember, in prize fighting, it tires those arms to go X number of rounds against a well-qualified opponent. Just think how that is doubled when your legs are also tired and you've got to battle offensively and defensively. That's what makes the sport of kickboxing so extra exciting. Right now, let's go to ring announcer Rich Newberry.
Let's get ready to rumble! We've reached the main event. This will be for the World Super Heavyweight Championship of Kick. Karate International Council, Kickboxing World Super Heavyweight. Introducing in the blue corner, St. Paul's favorite son, with a record of 17 victories and only 1 defeat, the U.S. Super Heavyweight Champion, Ken Wilhelm! Introducing in the red corner, with a record of 36 victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw, the World Super Heavyweight Champion, the electrifying Anthony F. Elmore! Elmore!
We've got the hometown man against the showman and the champion. Elmore in that bright gold outfit, flowers tossed into the ring in response to Ken Wilhelm. There's the world super heavyweight champion, Anthony Elmore. And the interesting thing is that Ken Wilhelm, at 37 years old, is the youngster. He's a kid. He's a year younger than Elmore, 38, 2 master veterans. Anthony Elmore has been around for 10 years in this sport. He's 38 years old. And out of Memphis, Tennessee. Weighed in at 214 pounds. Ken Wilhelm in at 207 pounds. Anthony Elmore is not only a kickboxer, he is a movie mogul. He wrote, produced, and starred in Iron Thunder. You can get it in video stores. It's semi-autobiographical. He mortgaged everything he had to put the money into the film. He says, I'll make another one. I didn't make any money out of it, but I'll make another one. And this young man, Ken Wilhelm, has moved to Philadelphia in the last few years. A fast food conglomerate has given him a supervisory role, and he has worked his way up in that company and done very well, as he has done in kickboxing. Wilhelm at 207, and this man, Anthony Elmore, at 214. And as you'll hear some comments from Elmore, he's a thespian. I mean, this guy knows how to arouse the passions of kickboxing fans. Rick Bush, the referee. Joe Sabas, Bill Miller, and Tom Sullivan are the judges. 8 kicks per round required. 12 two-minute rounds. A mandatory 3 knockdown rule and standing 8 shots. This is for everything. The World Super Heavyweight title for the Karate International Council of Kickboxing. These are the big guys, the Super Heavyweight. Each round is like a sprint with a 1-minute rest in between, but it keeps adding up. Stamina is going to play a big, important role in who's going to be the winner. As we begin the first round, the youngsters have come up and tried to take these titles, but it's up to men in their late 30s to battle for the top spot. Elmore defending his title. Elmore on the left in a bright gold kickboxing trousers. Both fighters using roundhouse kicks to feel each other out, find out the distance, get their timing down. Amp looks like he's just drifting his leg up. He's got the length in the legs, and certainly the reach in the arms. I asked Elmore what he does when he goes into an opponent's backyard, this being the round of Wilhelm. He says, 2 words, I win. Kenny's been training with his boxing in Philadelphia, coming back home to St. Paul here to take on the champ. This is something he's been wanting to do for the past 2 years. Elmore fought all over the world. He's been to Australia many times. Elmore wants to leave a legacy, not only in kickboxing, but helping others. Very unusual for a man as big as Ant is. And to have been around as long as he had. At one time, he held the most amount of kicks in an individual round some years ago. But it was an amazing strength that he had for that entire series. Well, in that same fight, he had 190 overall, which is incredible. He'll use his left leg as a jab at times, too. He wants to wear his opponent down when he's working at his best. Figuratively speaking, he says, I'll get a man drunk and then mug him. And that's the end of round 1 in the scheduled 12-rounder. Steve Brad and Frank Babcock with you. Frank, it's tough to judge who got that first round. It was really an exploratory round for both kickboxers. I think both of them just checking their distance, checking their timing to see what can be done. A little sparring from the middle of the first round. Little combinations. Anthony hits with a right, pushes Kenny back just a little bit. Roundhouse kick, low kick. These super heavyweights are interesting people too. I mean, their attitudes on life. I mean, they've been big guys their whole lives. They've been rough, tough guys. They don't see the world as the average person may. Both are really kind people, to be honest, when you meet them, and now some more ring work, a pad in the corner has to be adjusted. According to Elmore in the far right corner of your screen, training is just part of his life. He doesn't do anything but train. It's just as easy as breathing. The matches are the culmination of it, but he just enjoys martial arts purely.
Trains quite regularly. He owns a carpet company and installs carpet down in Memphis, Tennessee.
Anthony seems to be kicking very low, just barely getting up to the midsection.
I don't know whether that's a ploy or whether that's exactly where he's aiming. Axe kick is Kenny steps in. Nice kicking prowess. Tough for a big man.
Kenny seems to be very wary of the champ.
Neither man has been knocked out ever. Elmore's gone 12 many times. Wilhelm's gone 11.
Kenny moving in with a series of combinations, trying to go for Anthony's head. And he followed up with a straight kick to the midsection. Anthony's pacing himself very well. Side kick by Kenny slides off midsection of the electrifying ace.
Elmore, the world champion. Wilhelm, the U.S. champion, trying for the world belt in his old hometown of St. Paul, Minnesota.
A lot of reach. Ken steps in and goes for that midsection. The amp just kind of leans back and it gives him in the face. That looks like a tactic that he's going to be using through the night,
And at least in the early round. Elmore 38, Wilhelm 37, both off the rope.
And applying a little pressure there to Wilhelm, showing him he's got some power in those arms. A little fast jabs coming up from Amp.
Round two coming to a close rapidly. A couple of tacticians in the ring right now. Earlier in the day that Wilhelm is a kid with more enthusiasm. Well, in a relative manner, he is. He's a year younger than this man, Elmore, and he's got less professional fights under his belt, so he hasn't had as many times to be knocked around. So physically, he's also a little bit younger, and it enables him to do things like that beautiful axe kick we saw.
Kenny steps up, coming in to show him that axe kick. Shows a lot of flexibility. Good. Drops right across the side of Amp's face. Little flurry of punches at the moment. Nobody doing any damage.
Looks like a baseball fight.
Yeah. Well, I think by now they know what each of them have. They need to get in and do some power.
Actually, Wilhelm has only gone 9 rounds for his longest as we begin round 3.
Good exchange, roundhouse kick by both fighters.
Hard to judge who's been scoring the most in the real early rounds. They've been feeling each other out. The axe kick that Wilhelm connected on account for a good portion of his points.
Ken predominantly has been a kicker over the history of his fights, using spin kicks and turning back kicks. Again, very unusual for a big man. But he seems like he's mixing up some of his boxing skills that perhaps he's been working on while in the Philadelphia area. Neither fighter hitting really hard.
This is for the title, the Super Heavyweight Championship of the world. Big right by Wilhelm, partially deflected by Elmore.
Ken wants the title. He's going to have to go chase Amp. He's going to have to hit him and start going. St. Paul crowd letting everybody know they want him to go after it.
They do respect each other. That's very clear up there. Middle of the third round. Scheduled for 12. Full fight. The fairer complected Wilhelm has some marks on his body from some shots. Misses with an axe kick and a cover by Elmore. Less than 10 seconds to go in this round. Round 3. And that's it. Round 3 is over. How would you score it so far?
I would have scored that round for Ken Wilhelm. He's the aggressor. He's going after it. He's had a few connecting hits. I would have given the round to Ken Wilhelm.
How about the earlier two? It was so close, and it's a 10-point must scoring.
Well, I think we would have been looking at a tie during the first round. I would have given the second round to Ken Wilhelm also. Flurry and Ken charges throughout combinations. We can't seem to get in. Ant has a good way of pulling that knee up and pushing the incoming fighter off. No real connect. A couple of roundhouse kicks, all been deflected. The aggressor is Ken, and I would be giving it to Ken. I guess it's tradition also, because Ant has a way of giving up the first 4 or 5 rounds and then pouring it on during the later rounds.
Round 4 just underway for the Super Heavyweight Championship of the world. We're at the Grand Ballroom of the Radisson St. Paul in St. Paul, Minnesota. Anthony Amp Elmore on the left. The defending champion, the U.S. champion Ken Wilhelm from St. Paul, now out of Philadelphia, trying to take that title away.
Kicks at the moment. Both fighters just trying to pace each other, kick for kick more than anything else. Every time Ken throws a kick now, Anthony throws a kick in return.
Anthony snapping jabs make anything as far as connection. Elmore 214, Wilhelm 207. It's tough for a super heavyweight to keep lifting those legs and hitting to above the waist. Those are legs of the trunk. There you go. They must do 8 per round.
Both sticking to the same combination. Left roundhouse kick, an occasional front kick coming from Amp. You jab, back off, and kick again. Roundhouse kick to the midsection. Roundhouse kick to the middle. That's about all there is. Two fighters just overcautious of each other.
Frankly, though, at this pace, I can't see Wilhelm taking the title away.
You know, I can't either. Anthony's returning it, throwing some power.
And Wilhelm counters with a kick of his own to get out of it. Now, with the power of it behind us, one mistake, though, and you could be looking up at the ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of power coming into this technique.
Fourth round starting to come to a conclusion.
Anthony taking the fight to Ken Wilhelm. Not really hitting hard, but
being more aggressive as round 4 concludes. Frank, Anthony Elmore has yet to sit down. Wilhelm is sitting down. And as we watch some sparring from this past 4th round, why is that?
It's a tradition for him. He never sits down in between a round.
Of course, and why is that? Does he like to do that?
Psych out his opponent. Yeah, absolutely. I think both fighters are psyched out no matter what, because they're just not getting it on in the ring. A lot of exchanges, a little bit of flurries, but no power exchanges, not hitting. Amp in the center of the ring, ready to go.
We begin round 5. And imploring from just at ringside is Ken Wilhelm's mother here from St. Paul. She's up. She's standing to our right. She's got tears in her eyes. She gets really emotional when son Ken gets in the ring. Who can blame her? She is bleeding and crying. She's just showing herself. She's expending a lot of energy. Meanwhile, Elmore, the U.S. champ, trying to take the super heavyweight world title away from Elmore.
Elmore's seen a little harder in this round, too. Trying to be a little bit more definite on where he's placing his kick. A little less flop, taking it low to the midsection, taking it up to the head. Left roundhouse kick is all that he has been using. Flips the jab, throws a roundhouse kick.
I think Elmore's getting a little more confident at this fight.
I think as it continues to go on, Elmore is getting more confident, feeling a little less intimidated by Ken Wilhelm. Ken hasn't been able to hit him one time with anything with any power at all.
And now Wilhelm's going southpaw to try to shake up Elmore a little bit.
He's trying to throw more ramp, not at all. He just turns around, throws a roundhouse kick. Use that back leg roundhouse kick, which is a more powerful technique. Trying to stay in his face. Wants to keep pushing Kenny back to the rope. He doesn't want to give up any more points. He's going to stay out in the center of the ring and control the ring.
Late in the 5th round. Scheduled 12-rounder in this title fight. Actually, Elmore's using his lead.
Get ready for
A lot of electricity in that man. He's a generator.
Big flurry of boxing techniques going on. Little jabs.
I want to make a correction on that lady.
ready to go.
The lady you saw was Kenny's mother-in-law, so she was cheering for her son-in-law.
Mother-in-law. And connecting with a midsection kick.
Getting a run
jabs. Anthony returning 1-for-1. Everything that Kenny's putting up. And losing up, throwing some kicks.
Boy, that's a key word, loosening up. Did you see that? Boy, he's a different fighter than he was 2-3 rounds ago.
Oh, yeah.
Already. This is the strategy he employs so well in defending his title.
Anthony's playing Kenny's game. Kenny won't go in and box, so Amp's just staying away from him, kicking him. He's got Kenny on the back. He's got Kenny moving away from him.
And he tried to come in with a big right hook, but didn't even come close. So they have to get it kicked in for us. Middle of the 6th round, scheduled 12-rounder. Elmore on the right with the gold kickboxing trousers. Now Wilhelm's going to have to pick it up. There's no way he can take the title at this pace.
No.
He's trying to get in there. Elmore's reach, experience. Just doing the job, keeping him away. Is Wilhelm too tired to be able to utilize that axe kick effectively as he did back in the 2nd round a couple of times?
Well, I think that plays a part of it, but at the moment he's so frustrated he cannot figure out how to get to the inside of Amp. Amp is awkward. He's gangly. He's just big, but he can move fast enough to keep Kenny away from him, causing him an incredible fit.
Good counterpunch by Wilhelm was about as good as he's done in a couple of rounds. At the end of the round, round 6 concludes. Elmore's got to frustrate almost everybody he gets in the ring with.
Oh, I think so.
Here's the end of his last 6th round.
A couple of combinations that do not score, not on their mark, way off distance. And Kenny Wilhelm returns, pops one right off Anthony's face, and Anthony just keeps on coming. There's just not enough power hitting from Ken. A lot of running around, but there's really no contact.
Ken Wilhelm giving Ken Wilhelm some instruction to go ahead and take the round to him. Kenny's wife and mother-in-law in his corner imploring him to take it to Elmore. We begin round 7. Anthony Elmore defending his super heavyweight kickboxing title. It sounded good, but it was blocked. Blocked.
All the kicks aimed at the midsection, all being blocked by both fighters, are hitting on the backside.
That was a nice
around the arms.
combination.
Good combination, trying to get in. No boxing techniques being utilized by either fighter. I think Anthony's sitting back and playing Kenny Wilhelm's game.
Wilhelm, when he goes southpaw, will utilize side kicks. I haven't seen him use too many side kicks from the regular orthodox right. His corner is telling Wilhelm to move those hands a little more, be more active. You know, even though they're not pretty, those kicks are going to wear Wilhelm down, though.
Oh, they'll wear him down. There's no question about that. It's just like seeing with a tree branch. Sooner or later, he's going to start dropping his arms. He's not going to be able to hold him up. Those kicks move slow, but they move with a lot of power. You see the marks on Ken Wilhelm's body.
7th round, scheduled for 12. Wilhelm can't gauge how to get in there. It all turned around in the 4th round.
All turned around in the 4th round. Like there's something holding Ken Wilhelm back. He's trying that axe kick again, but you know, it's just not going to work in this type of game.
Did not connect, by the way. That looked powerful. It did not get. 10 seconds left in this 2-minute round. They're all 2 minutes. 7th round. Elmore's been dominating. Elmore blocks and counters. End of round 7. Let's see that spin kick that we just saw in that last 7th round.
Right roundhouse kick by Anthony Elmore, and a turning back kick coming into the midsection, sliding off the midsection. Anthony Elmore doing no damage at all by Ken Wilhelm. A lot of pushing and shoving, a little sparring between the two fighters, going back and forth, but no real damage done. Elmore letting him know he's ready for him. Bring him out. Bring him to me.
8th round about to begin. Super heavyweight world title fight. Anthony "Amp" Elmore doing a nice job defending his title. Ken Wilhelm, now from Philadelphia, originally from here in St. Paul.
Anthony stepping in a little bit, jabbing a little bit more. He's got a closer foot stance at the moment. That means he's wanting to step in with that roundhouse kick. You can see how he cross steps or else slides up to hit that roundhouse kick. He's trying to get a lot closer to Ken now. Kenny needs to do some boxing, and we're just not seeing it. Kicks are hitting harder, punches are hitting a little harder.
And he's using both legs effectively, is Elmore. Dropping that left hand, trying to lure Wilhelm in there.
Yeah, he certainly is. Amp's kicks are slowing down a little bit. Big wind-up. Tried to throw that punch in there.
Folks, you have to remember these men are both well over 200 pounds, and it takes a lot to move those limbs, especially after 7 rounds of kickboxing. Midway through the 8th round. That was blocked, but it still sent Wilhelm back.
Pushed him back up against the rope. Hit right off of his arms. Most all of those kicks to the midsection are just coming right off the arm, down by the elbow on Ken Wilhelm.
Wilhelm southpaw now. Now he's orthodox as he comes off the rope. Ken is now defensive, and he's got to make some points.
He's just giving it up. I mean, he is not using his hands at all. Very few kicks, and the kicks that he's doing are not connected.
Now they're starting to come to a close. Elmore's starting to pick up a little bit. Elmore's got Wilhelm on the run. Elmore tees up, and Wilhelm for the first time grabs hold and ties him up.
Wilhelm was hurt by that, too.
That surprised him, too. He lulled him, and round 8 concluded. Caught him just at the temple. Rang his bell a little bit on that one. At the end of the 8th round, Anthony Elmore made his best shot of the night.
Anthony came in jabbing a lot with the right, and then he scored with a heavy left. Ran him across the ring, reached out, let him know he was coming in again, pushed him up, scored with an uppercut. Referee broke him up. And they're calling the fight.
That's it. That last hook, that last left, hit it. And Wilhelm will not answer the bell for the 9th round. There's Dr. Gary Gramman coming into the ring. Referee Rick Bush
Ladies and gentlemen, the fight is over.
And a victory for Anthony M. Elmore, as his opponent Ken Wilhelm will not answer the bell for the 9th round, defending his super heavyweight title for the Karate International Council of Kickboxing, the electrifying Anthony Amp Elmore, 38 years old.
One of the big guys, 214 pounds.
They are checking the eye of Ken Wilhelm, the left eye. You know, it's a rugged, violent sport, but as you say, the safety of these performers is utmost in everybody's mind.
Doctor is constantly at ringside. We do a lot of things to ensure the safety of the fighters. He'll be checked out. If he is still feeling a little rugged, he'll be taken to the hospital.
This is what did him in. Watch the left hand of Elmore. Set him up with that body shot, and whoop.
And whoop. That jolted his body all the way down to his toes.
Winner and still champion, the electrifying Anthony M. Elmore.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You did exactly as you said you were going to do. You came into his backyard and took the fight. Early on, you measured him and then turned the tide. Was that your plan?
Well, as I said earlier, in very technical terms, my goal was to make him abnegate or renounce his will to beat me. And then I told, as I indicated, I would make him sequester or begin to run and hide. And then after that, I'll make him begin to acquiesce, which go without protest. And finally, capitulated the opponent, which that was the goal I had. Even though it doesn't look like it, to the viewer out there, but I worked very hard on my kicks. And I think that what happened was I tricked him into a kicking game. He wasn't prepared to kick as much as I was kicking, because most heavyweights don't kick, and you probably can't get the sparring with somebody that kick as much as I do. So what I was planning on doing was just get him to a kicking game, kick him to the outside, and then the last 3 rounds show my boxing prowess or skill.
World Championship Kickboxing, 2 giant California redwoods in the ring, slugging it out with each other, and the defending champion redwood held on.
Tree limbs, banging it out. Tree stumps, hitting each other. Big guys, really big guys. I wouldn't want to be up there.
One thing about Elmore, he's so colorful and so good for the sport. He backs his talk with his effort. He wants people to come down south to Memphis, Tennessee, in his own backyard, and not be on the road against opponents defending his title.
Well, he promotes a good show, but I'll tell you, Anthony looks awkward. He's off balance. He's hard to follow. He's frustrating when you're in the ring. He's frustrating to watch, but he hits hard. He uses the basics. Front kick, makes it sometimes. Roundhouse kick hits. Where it hits is what does the damage. He doesn't hit the midsection. He hits the arms. He wears them out. They start dropping the guard. You're not going to stay in the ring against a big guy like that.
Finally, these guys are no spring chickens. Wilhelm, 37. Elmore, 38. What's their futures?
Well, I think this was a big challenge match. They wanted to take a shot at the title. Kenny wanted it. I would expect we'd be seeing a retirement out of him. Anthony wants a big ticket, and I think we're looking at one more fight out of him. We'll see what happens.
It's a great sport, an endless stream of young up-and-comers, and maybe in 10 years right now, there's a kid 10 years old looking up to these youngsters who'll be in there. For Frank Babcock, I'm Steve Grad. Thank you for joining us. And so long from our championship telecast where Anthony Elmore defends his title against Ken Wilhelm from the Radisson St. Paul in St. Paul, Minnesota.